What's up everyone, Matt Evans here for another episode of Board Game Replay. Today we're going to be playing City of Horror by Nicholas Normandin and Repos Productions. Now we're going to go through a quick game overview and cover some of the rules of this game, but if you're already familiar with this, feel free to click right here and skip right to the main part of the video. Alright, so I want to start out by saying City of Horror is a zombie-themed game, obviously, but what's cool about it is it's pretty different than the other zombie-themed games that are out there, because rather than focusing on killing zombies and going after them and getting upgraded weapons and things like that, this game is all about survival and negotiation. Each player is going to be controlling a number of characters or survivors, and you're going to be doing everything you can to keep them out of harm's way. That might mean hiding in a building, running to a different area, but most importantly, when push comes to shove and the zombies are going to kill someone, you're going to vote for your opponents to die rather than you, and you're going to do everything you can to make sure that that happens. The object of this game is to survive for 4 hours or 4 game rounds with as many of your survivors as possible. In addition to that, all of your survivors are also infected and will need to obtain one of these antidote tokens, or syringes as we'll probably call them, because we always do. You're going to need to obtain one of those for every one of your survivors that even makes it through the end of the game. So it's pretty difficult, it's pretty tricky, but the best way for me to really explain this is to walk you through a sample turn, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Stick around, I'm going to be joined by a couple friends and we're going to walk through a game round. Alright, so we're going to walk through a sample turn of City of Horror. I'm joined here by Isaac and Jeremy, and hopefully this will give you a pretty good idea of how things work. The first phase of the game is the observation phase. So anybody in the water tower, anybody who has a character in the water tower, is going to be able to take a peek at the next invasion card that's going to come up. So that's the first phase of the game. I have a character there, and so does Jeremy, so I'm going to take a peek at this card with Jeremy. We're going to look at this and see where any zombies and or items are going to spawn. This is going to help us in the next phase of the game, which I'll get to in a second. So, okay, we've studied this card. We're going to put it back on top of the deck. And then we're going to move on to the movement card selection phase. This is where we're going to take our 6 movement cards with the different location cards on the board, and we're going to secretly choose one and place it face down on the table. So I am going to choose this one. And then we're all going to reveal this card face up at the same time. I'm going to put it right here, and that's going to come into play in just a second. Alright, so the next phase of the game is where the invasion happens, where the zombies land on the board, where the zombies start to invade the map. So we're going to reveal this invasion card, and we're going to place the zombies on the map. And we're just going to cut ahead and do that part for you real quick. Alright, now that the zombies have invaded the board and there's more of them on the map, and we've got some items and some syringes that have kind of dropped down, some supplies basically that have been airdropped on us, now we're going to do the character movement phase. So we're going to resolve the cards that we've chosen a few rounds before. So starting with the first player, which in this case is me, I have to move one of my characters to the church. Now I already have one character in the church, so I can't choose him. You actually have to try to move a character. And I like having my guy up on the water tower here because he can observe things every round as long as he's up there. So I'm going to take my guy here, my special agent from here in the crossroads, and I'm going to move him into the church. And now Jeremy's the next in turn order.
Alright, I picked bank, and crossroads is never safe, so I'm trying to get out of there too. Go to the bank.
Alright, and Isaac, what are you moving to?
I'm moving to the armory. Moving myself out of the middle as well, because it's not safe, into the armory.
Alright, and that's the character movement phase. Okay, so now we're going to go to the location resolution phase, which is really the meat of this game. That's kind of where all the action happens. So in that phase, we're going to go to each location on the board, and they're all numbered, and the center board numbers them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And what we do is we start at location number 1. We look for any characters on that space to take actions, and the water tower in this case doesn't have an action to take. Other spaces will have that. We'll get to that in a moment. But the next thing that happens is we look up here, and it has a picture of 4 zombies. It says 4 or more zombies on this space, and there's going to be a zombie attack. What that means is that there's going to be a vote to decide who dies. So you take everybody that's on that space, in this case, which is just Jeremy and myself, and we are going to vote for who is going to be the one that's thrown to the zombies and killed in this space. You'll notice there's only 2 of us, so obviously we're not going to vote to kill ourselves unless somebody makes a really good deal, but we're not going to vote to kill ourselves, essentially, so this is going to be a tie. I have the first player token. I am the person in this case that breaks ties, so there's always someone in the game that's going to be able to break a tie. So, in this case, Jeremy can probably know at this point that he's getting thrown over the edge of this water tower. So he has a moment before the vote happens to play action cards and make any decisions or make any deals he wants to make. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to see what I got here. I have a card, I can kill some zombies. So I'm going to play this one. It'll let me kill 2 zombies on any space. I'll clear out 2 zombies, and now there's no longer a vote.
Now there's no longer a threat because there are less than 4 zombies on the space. The water tower is resolved, we move on to the next zone. Alright, and the next location here is at the church. So the first thing we're going to do is that every person who has a character in this space, which is every one of us, gets a chance to take this action. This action says to discard one of our cards, which we have, any of them, and we can refresh one of our character's special actions. Now in this case, all of our characters in this space, no one has used their special actions at this point of the game. And to quickly explain special actions, every character in the game has a special action printed on their card that they can exhaust themselves to do, flip over, and now they are worth slightly less victory points. So each of the characters has a victory point value in the corner. When they exhaust and use their special ability, they're now worth less. So it's kind of a good, people will try to keep their characters from using their special abilities as much as they can because they're worth more when they haven't used them. But some characters have very powerful special abilities that you almost can't live without. So in this case, all of us are going to skip the action card phase. We don't really have a reason to use it. So we will go on to the vote. This space has 3 or more zombies, and someone is going to die. So you'll notice, blue, which is me, has 2 characters on this space, which means I have 2 votes with these 2 fingers. We'll count to 5, and we'll have somebody killed in this space. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so in this case, there are 2 votes for Isaac to die, and 2 votes for me to die. And I get 2 votes because I have 2 characters on this space. I'm the tiebreaker in this case. I'm breaking the tie. I'm going to say you die. So Isaac's character on the space, the blonde, who is a huge pain in the butt because she keeps spawning zombies every turn because she's loud and blonde, she's going to die. This character is now out of the game, which sounds really disheartening, but this game is not very long, so somebody's dying multiple times every turn. So now we've resolved this space, we go on to the next one, and I knock over this character. So that's a basic walkthrough of a round, and we staged some stuff to make it look like we were actually playing competitively and stuff, but it should be noted that it's kind of hard to get a real feel for this kind of game, because this game is pure player interaction. I mean, there's so much of it. I mean, anytime your character's about to die, you're going to be pleading for your life, you're going to be trading cards, you're going to do all kinds of stuff, so that's just to show you the mechanical workings of the game. The game actually works a lot differently and plays kind of a lot more naturally than that. But that's the mechanical basics of it. In the actual game, there's a lot of variety, actually. There's a ton of item cards in the deck that can kind of be played at any time, anywhere you are. I don't even have to have a character involved in this space, but I can play a card, I can make a deal with Isaac that kills 2 zombies in this space, that helps him out and ask for something in return. Or, you get the idea. So that's the basic idea of the game. I can't really explain a whole lot more to you without you actually watching the game, so stay tuned and you'll see how it all pans out. So Jeremy was the winner again. I swear to God, you've won this game every time we've played. I mean, who survived? I survived with 1 guy and 2 syringes. So I had 7 points. You survive?
Do you count the syringe that you have to use?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I ended with 4 points. Thanks.
And Jeremy?
Oh, wow. I survived the zombie apocalypse without having my baby. That's good. So I had 2 people alive with their abilities not used.
And 2 syringes.
And 2 syringes.
So you had 11 points. 11 points. Jeremy always wins this game. It drives me crazy. We'll go to his strategy in just a little bit. For me, I'm so bad at this game. Like with most games, I'm not great at games. I like them, but I'm terrible at them. And that was pretty evident in this game. And actually, this is the best I think I've ever done. I don't think I've ever had a character survive to the end of the game.
You always die.
And he didn't use his ability.
I start these games out. I think the first time we taught this, I started this game out by saying, hey, these item cards are your lifeblood. Don't spend them unless you absolutely need them. And then every game we play, I blow 5 cards in 1 turn and I'm left with nothing. Like, these cards in your hand, they are the whole meat of the game. Like, they give you currency. Every space on the board requires you to have an item card to do something with that space. And on top of that, the cards actually do stuff. So if you don't have item cards, you have very few options. You don't have bargaining chips.
The game's random and, like, that's actually going to happen, and you have to have some way to stop them. You can either win by voting someone else to die, or using your cards to hide or kill zombies. So,
right, or making a deal with someone saying, hey, I'll give you 2 cards if you kill him.
You can even use the cards just as money. So cards, you need them to do anything, because otherwise you have your once per game ability and that's all you got.
I think it was funny that early in the game, Chris, I was in a situation, or where there was a situation, where Chris and I had to make a deal with one another. Let's go to a clip of that real quick. So Chris, you get one of those. You get to trade the other one to anybody else on the board.
Chris,
are you happy
He
with?
stole a card.
Chris, I have
He
a
stole my card, bro.
card with
I had to
your.
use it.
Stole my
Yeah,
card.
but I can give this to Matt without having it have no effect on the game.
Yeah, but he stole
There
my
you
card.
go. I like it.
You're
I
not
like this
impressed
guy.
by my explosive
Why?
prowess?
Because he doesn't win, so it doesn't matter.
There it is. See, now you guys understand. I like this. This
Yeah.
is good. I like this. Is a good. This is.
That is a black hole. Is that what your point is?
To be honest, it backfired a little bit, at least between the two of them, because Chris died completely, and Matt came in second. So,
Hey.
That one syringe had nothing to do with me dying.
Hey,
no, definitely not.
No, it didn't.
you know what? It's an honor to have a title. I'm the black hole of games. I'm terrible at board games. That's okay. Brian, what want to talk about? What you did? What'd you do?
My strategy, other than surviving,
Your strategy, huh? You have
Was-
3 dead people.
I know, it did not work out, was to off one of my characters earlier in the game. A lot of times people don't tend to target you as much if you have less than the max characters, especially in the beginning. And I don't know if it was turn 2 or 3, but the blonde, which is one I wanted to end the game with, got blown sky high
Some
out of the
collateral
water
damage.
tower, and I lost her immediately. But I lost everybody. I had no syringes, no points. So it was a difficult game.
Let's go to Jeremy now because it's infuriating. Every time I play this game, Jeremy has it figured out. Isaac said it earlier. Jeremy's always playing two rounds in advance, and the game's only 4 rounds. He just always thinks further ahead than any of us.
So I focused on the church quite a bit. Being able to flip your once per game back over for a card is a pretty good. I mean, the once per games are stronger than cards usually, so being able to flip that back over is pretty good. So I focused on the church quite a bit. A lot of people focus on the hospital because they're like, oh, I need syringes to win because you need a syringe. But the syringes spawn on the map too, so that's kind of my other strategy is there's probably a pretty good chance I'm going to find a syringe randomly somewhere or negotiate my way to get one. So I use the watchtower because that's good to know what's coming as well. I used the mama. Her once per game is to make a space wherever. So I used her right on round 1. I just put her straight up there because it was definitely going to be full. I think it started out as
Water
full
tower is
anyway.
almost always full, yeah.
So I just started
Bogarts
out.
her way into a spot.
Yeah, she uses her bloody rolling pin.
That's pretty awesome. I would have liked to see you at least have your characters like exhausted on their other sides, and I'd feel better about it.
Well, I used the little boy a few times. I used
You
him
did, that's
twice,
right.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And then re-upped him. So.
That's true.
Isaac and Matt were the only 2 other people that lived. Isaac, what were you trying?
I didn't try to overthink it. But
That worked out well for you.
it
Yeah, how many
Worked-
characters did you end with?
it
Third place?
worked out great. My 4
How many
points.
did I have?
More than him.
Well, I mean, it did work. I did stay alive, and I don't think I've actually stayed alive in this game. So that's actually maybe that's a step up for me.
You made an improvement, yeah.
You can thank Brian.
I think my big moment in this game was actually a chance. And I didn't really want my big moment to be a chance, but that's what I did. I found myself alone in the hospital,
With,
and I used.
I think there's
The business one.
6 zombies or
there
4
were
zombies.
5 or 6.
Well, let's look at it.
Yeah, let's go back to
We
that.
got that.
I don't want to die, so I'm going to use this card to move all the zombies from my location to a random location.
Okay.
I need to draw the card.
So shuffle your location cards.
I want to know what you're doing thematically right now, Isaac.
I am running for my.
No, he's using a little cat to lure some zombies away.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a
Is that literally? All right. I got a cat, and I'm going to lead all the
Distract.
zombies away with the cat.
You're gonna serpentine.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Shuffle.
shuffle randomly.
Please be hospital. Please be hospital.
Just goes right back.
Do you want me to draw for you?
Cat loops back.
I was gonna pick off.
It can't go back to the
Yes.
same
Oh, yeah,
location,
they can.
right?
That's what happened last time. Someone used it.
Yeah, man.
Can we take another pee break? I'm a little upset. Oh, crossroads? Oof. No way.
Aren't there only supposed to be 8 zombies at any one square at any one time?
That's correct.
Alright, well, I'm pretty sure Isaac
That is
moved more
2,
there.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh.
7. That's 10.
Dude, you're so dead. So you have to move back to the space, right?
Yep. And
That means he's dead.
so I would say 2 is greiter than 1, correct?
Yeah, that's not 2 is greater
2
than
is
1.
greater than 1. So zombie attack.
Hang on, Isaac, I'll help you.
Wait, no.
What's that card do?
In this game, this time, I try not to. I really don't like it. but I was a huge. I mean, like, I was just aiming for killing people to try to get an advantage. Because my assumption is that if I get more people out of the game, there'll be less that can kill me back. I'm going to kill 2 zombies.
Okay.
Okay.
There
and
you
you're
go.
gonna put one thing on the watchtower.
And put one thing on the watchtower.
Nice.
Oh boy.
I like that. I like that.
I'm going to move one zombie from here to over here. And then
Does that also add a flare token?
it does. And then I'm going to kill the zombie.
You guys are all dead on the water tower.
What? No!
Oh, that is so amazing.
All right.
I think we found a new target.
I really think, like, if you want to win this game, it's good to stay neutral.
Kill this guy.
Try to keep a low profile.
It's true.
Don't try to make friends. Just try not to make enemies. Because trying to beat people didn't work very well.
So unless you can kill 8 zombies or magically make them disappear,
Can
don't
I
know.
hide?
Oh, yeah.
You can do that. You can hide. I say,
Bummer.
I feel so bad about doing this right now because Chris is so happy,
Fuck
but
yourself.
Isaac, I want a syringe for this.
Oh, you're gonna cancel it?
Give me that
oh
syringe.
yeah,
Boom. Done.
oh yeah.
What does that mean?
You're not
I
hiding.
totally shut down your
Cancels
action
your
card.
action card. Unless you have another hide.
Zombie brethren.
I'm going to businessmen to discard this to get my hide back
No!
and play it again.
I'm gonna flip the punk to cancel that.
Yes!
Oh!
Yeah.
What is going on right now?
That's what he gets for making 3 enemies in one turn.
I think overall, my 2 cents on the game, I think it's important to note if this is a game you're checking out, I think you look at it as a zombie game, a lot of the other zombie games that are out there are very different than this. Most zombie games are about killing the zombies and it's all about zombies. But what I think what's awesome about this game is it's more attuned to zombie lore. It's all about the survival. It's about it's all about the survivors in this game, and the zombies are just a part, which is awesome. You know, it's all about keeping your survivors alive, making deals with people, playing to your best abilities, and throwing grandma into the zombies when she's the easiest one to kill.
Sometimes grandma's time.
That's awful.
Everything.
So true though.
Everything is a bargain in this game.
Yep.
Whether it's from deciding what of your cards you're going to keep, what of your once per games you're going to keep, and what alliances you're going to make during the length of the game. Who is going to make it to the end with you so you can screw them over in the end to actually take it out. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get to that point because Jeremy runs away with this game, but every single time. But I think Matt and I actually played that out pretty well.
I'm happy with my 7 victory points. I don't think I've ever given anyone near that. I've always had everyone dead.
Yeah, I mean, back to what I said. It's about, like, everything has a value, and it's just really figuring out what's worth what. Like, me trading you 1 card for 2 syringes, depending on the game or the situation, it could be a good deal. It's all about figuring out what's worth what during the game.
That's true. And values definitely change throughout the game. You know, like syringes aren't really that valuable early in the game, but late in the game, if you're sitting there with a couple survivors and you're dead if you don't get it, it's really, really valuable.
A lot of the game, you see zombies all over the place on the board, and even now you see them everywhere. But most of the time, even when I'm playing, I don't tend to focus on the zombies or what's going to... Not so much how do I get rid of them, but making alliances with the people on it. Because when you know there's a zombie attack, it doesn't matter how many there are there, it's who's going to die. Is it me, or am I going to make an alliance with someone to vote somebody else to go down?
Yep.
Because there's plenty of cards in the game to remove zombies, to move them, to move yourself. You have special abilities. So it's almost like the other players, even though that some of it's co-op to strategize with, it's working with them. They're more dangerous than the zombies are.
That's where that's how you assign value. Like the hide cards and stuff like that. Like I think there's at least a few times where I was in the lead with 3 people or something. So and there was 2 people with their last person left. They're like, all right, yeah, we're gonna vote him out. I'm like, well, I'll just hide. So
Right, yeah, it's,
sorry.
you're saving it for that moment where you really
Yeah, that's when you really need to save. Using the hide card early when everybody's even, it's not nearly as valuable as towards the end when people are definitely going to vote on you.
Well, it's really late, and we should probably call it at that. We'll hopefully keep this to a shorter video this time. And yeah, that was fun. I had a good time.
Good game.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Hide from zombies.
I swear to
That's
God,
right.
we're gonna make sure you lose this game next time. We're gonna just
Can't happen.
gang in the leader.
Can't happen.
I know. I say that now,
It's a
but
challenge.
it's never gonna
We'll
happen.
have to have Michelle come in because
Seriously.
she ends up like staying alive somehow.
I know. All right. Well, hey, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you again soon.